Good day to you all. Welcome. Welcome to Holy Week. Here we are, the end of the Lenten season already. Time sure flies. The readings this weekend taken from Isaiah 50, verse 4. Our psalm is Psalm 22. Second reading from Phillipians, chapter 2, verses 6 to 11. A beautiful piece of writing which I will be talking about this weekend. And this Palm Sunday, this Passion Sunday, our gospel reading will be taken from Luke. So here we are. Holy Week is with us. The language of the readings, you would notice, will become more focused, more concentrated. There's kind of a heightened awareness. Things have reached a critical point now. They're all going to be tied together, and we have to focus, enter into the mood of Holy Week and absorb what is about to take place. It's the center and heart of our Catholic Christian faith. This is particularly so in St. Paul's second letter to the Phillipians, chapter 1, verses 6 to 11. A sublime piece of writing with great Christological references. There's a branch of theology referred to as Christology, which talks about the nature and work of Christ. And here is a beautiful example of Christology. Paul captures the very essence of Christ's suffering and death this Passion Sunday in very lyrical language that is in the form of a prayer. It ends with that most famous line taken from chapter 1, verses 10 to 11. And it goes like this, that at the name of Jesus, every knee should bow in heaven and on earth and under the earth, and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father. Beautiful piece of writing. What does this writing have for us? I am heavily indebted this weekend to Pope Benedict XVI in a speech that he gave on June the 1st, 2005 to an audience at the Vatican. In this writing, Benedict, where he speaks of the very same second reading that I am addressing, in this writing, in this presentation, Benedict proposes that Philippians 1, 6 to 11 invites us to take on the sentiment of Christ. It invites us to take on the sentiment of Christ. Not the mind of Christ, but the sentiment. It is not to model or to take on the mantle or the clothing or the outward appearance, but the sentiment of Christ. And I think when you think of the sentiment of Christ, we're talking more of the attitude of Christ. We kind of have to enter into the emotions of Jesus at this time of the year. Who, though he was divine, emptied himself to take on the human condition. And I ask you today, isn't this precisely the point of the Lenten season, to empty ourselves? At this point, with Holy Week on our very doorsteps, my question is, how empty are you? Have you emptied yourself during the course of the Lenten season of your selfish thoughts, your evil intentions, your passions and bad inclinations? Have you really emptied yourself? This is the call to enter into this sentiment of Christ and to empty yourself of all that is not of God. In the words of Pope Benedict, Christ took on our finite, limited and weak condition to become a brother of every man and woman. So this condition of taking on the human reality is something that we all face, something that keeps us back, something that burdens us. We find ourselves being constrained, being limited, being without peace, without happiness and contentment in our lives. Well, Christ taking on the human condition tells us that he is a true brother to us. He experienced those conditions as well. The reading says that he took on the form of a servant a condition of vulnerability and dependence. In other words, Christ let go. He let go of what he was entitled to. And as Holy Week approaches, he invites us to let go as well, to detach ourselves from our own self-will. In the words of Benedict, not to consider wealth, power, and prestige as the highest values in life, but to open ourselves to God in a spirit of trust and obedience. So it's a kind of a two-part movement that we face on Palm Sunday, Passion Sunday, to let go and to open ourselves in obedience and trust to God our Father, to let go of everything that is not of God, to let go of our self-will, and to humbly open our hearts in a spirit of trust and obedience to God. What a beautiful message for us, and a very difficult one as well, because it goes against the modern mentality of engagement and independence. The modern mentality of man is to attach himself to the things of this world, prestige and power, and to practice a spirit of independence. But we are being asked on this Passion Sunday, we are being asked in this Holy Week to do exactly the opposite, to detach ourselves and to open ourselves in a spirit of trust and obedience. Passion Sunday is an invitation to let go, to detach yourself from all your indulgences and to allow God to have his way in your life. My dear friends, I want to wish you all a blessed Holy Week. Open yourselves to God in a spirit of trust and obedience. God bless you all.